okay.
Oh, it's okay. Yes. I'm not used to this. My brother's not here today. Yes. Andy.
Lights, please. Light.
Lyrics.
Oh, light of grace, shining above, lighting my dim, shadowed way. Oh, light of grace, easing my pain, you have shown that God is love. I'll give my life and my love unto the one God of love. Though clouds may come, hiding His face, hiding the smile of my God. Though clouds may come, still He is there, shining brightly. God is love. I'll give my life and my love unto the one God of love. Amid the storm, tossed on the sea, beacon of hope, guiding me amid the storm. Shelter is near, trust in Him, for God is love. And I'll give my life and my love unto the one God of love. All things decay, passing away. Only the light traveling gets long, wishing for a new day to come. When the sun rises in the morning, we'll say it, then move on. And we'll be sailing with our Father. You know His ship will never sway. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. Look out with joy in your eyes. The winds of truth will guide our way, leaving behind the raging sea. On waves of love we'll sail away, and we'll be sailing with our Father. You know His ship will never sway. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. Darkness had always turned to light. The promised land is inside. He is our guiding star by night, and in the day our bright sunlight. And we'll be sailing with our Father. You know His ship will never sway. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. Sailing with our Father. You know His ship will never sway. Oh, new hope on the horizon. We found the promised land today. We found the promised land today. Your glory arises like the sun that shines on high. Now awaken into freedom, or revive your spirits, or revive. Wake the mountains and the valleys, bring alive the springs of the earth. Light the world forever with the light of your rebirth. Light the world forever with the light of your rebirth. We are called to bring back the glory to the life of God above. Now the Lord in His greatness fills the universe with tender love. Every sick and soul's awakened, ever calling them to be free. How shall I attend to who is calling to me? How shall I attend to who is calling to me? In the dark rooms of I awaken and rejoice to live in grace. When the one who came to save me holds me tenderly in His embrace, I rejoice to feel the comfort of the love He has for me. What a blessing of glory to rejoice eternally. What a blessing of glory to rejoice eternally. Though He lifts me up to embrace me in the blessing that is mine. What a blessing to receive Him in a love so tender and divine. How can I return the blessing, though in all my life I will try I can never stop feeling how unworthy am I. I can never stop feeling how unworthy am I.
Amen and adieu. Victor Moon will pray today. Victor Moon, come on down. Where's Victor Moon? Prayer? There he is. Okay, come on down. There you go. Okay.
Are you gonna play in Korean? So please join with me. 하나님 아버지 천지인 참 부모님, 오늘 2008년 5월 둘째 성일을 맞이하여 펜실베니아에서 이대왕님과 국진님과 형제 자매들과 같이 예배를 드릴 수 있는 시간을 주셔서 정말 감사합니다. 오늘 전 세계 사람들이 어머니의 날로 어머니들을 축하를 하고 있습니다. 저도 참 어머님께서 항상 어머님의 자리를 지켜주셔서 정말 감사하고 정성을 다하여 사랑을 주시고 키워주신 어머님들에게도 정말 감사를 드립니다. 이번 달에는 이대왕님과 국진님이 세컨드 어멘드멘트를 사탄으로부터 빼앗기지 않기 위해 정말 많은 정성을 들이셨습니다. 부족한 저희들이지만 실체적인 천일국이 창건할 때까지 왕님과 국진님과 함께 싸워 나갈 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다. 그리고 이번 주에는 펜실베니아의 지사 선거 투표가 있습니다. 그때도 이 선거에서도 하나님이 선택하신 사람이 뽑힐 수 있도록 인도를 해주시기 바라고, 그리고 지금 말세의 때이지만 저희 각 가정이 하나님과 함께하고 하나님을 사랑하고 가정을 사랑하고 이웃을 사랑하고 국가, 세계, 우주를 사랑하면서 끝까지 서로 지킬 수 있도록 하나님께서 인도해 주시기 바라고, 오늘의 왕님 말씀을 통해 많은 식구님들이 은혜를 받을 수 있도록 기도드리며 이 모든 말씀 축복 주신 가정 문성진 머리말 있고 아들 문승환 이름과 여기 모든 식구분들 이름을 모아 보고 드렸사옵나이다. 아멘. 아주.
Thank you, Victor Moon. All right, folks. Let's please sit down. Wow. Well, we're back. Hey, everybody. Good to see y'all back. Hey. And it is May 13th, 2018. Welcome, everybody. Spring buds are blooming and blossoming. Mother's Day, this is not today, is it? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Oh, today's Mother's Day? It wasn't yesterday? Oh, I put that thing up early, huh? I put that Instagram post up early. Okay. So happy to all the Mother's Day. I have a little thing for you. Anyways, a little surprise for all of you, the moms here. A little later. 56th Day of True All Things, 7 a.m., Thursday, June 14th. Dress code will be men, dark suit with red tie, women, white or beige. Crowns for all kings and queens. Also, Ancestor Liberation and Blessing, 11 a.m., Sunday, June 17th. Liberation offering amount, you decide. Dress code, men, dark suit and red tie. Women, white or beige. And crowns for all kings and queens. Also, other exciting activities, which will be announced soon between June 14th and June 17th. HSU classes, deadline for submitting HSU proposals is Tuesday, May 15th, so coming up soon. For classes in Korean or Japanese, it's Kanako Sensei out there in Korea. In Russian, Jane Kolobova or Tatiana Sokolova. For classes in English, Spanish, and other languages, contact Carrie Williams right here at her Gmail there. Also, Freedom Neighborhood Meeting, discuss topics such as communications, medical, transportation, etc. in emergency situations. This is for individuals and families living in the area of the Newfoundland Church. When alternate Thursdays to Freedom Society meetings. Please contact Kyle Toffee for more info at his Gmail account right there. Also, join us for our Gospel Bible study, Sanctuary Kingdom Gospel Bible study. That is Wednesday, 7 p.m., ongoing with Bill Brunhofer and Lowell Ellenson. We'll take up the letter to the Hebrews, chapters 3 to 5 this week, where we find these words in chapter 3, verse 5. Now Moses was faithful in all God's house as a servant to testify to the things that were to be spoken later, but Christ was faithful over God's house as a son. And we are his house if we hold fast our confidence and pride in our hope. All are welcome to join to study the good word Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Sanctuary. Also join us for the Freedom Society seminars, exciting discussions moderated by Cook Jinim here. Next meeting will be May 24th at Carms Factory, Lourdes Valley, PA at 7 p.m. And vote May 15th, folks. It's time. The gubernatorial race is coming up. So, Republican primaries this time, but obviously Wolf is by the Huffington Post, okay? By the Huffington Post, the most liberal governor in the United States, by the Huffington Post. So Pennsylvania really is a battleground. You can see it's a really battleground. It really is a microcosm, which then, of course, influenced the macrocosm and getting Trump in the White House. So Pennsylvania is a truly keystone state. And there's no surprise that the battleground between God and Satan is right here, too. So this upcoming primary is very important because we have some fake Republicans like Wagner and those other bozos. But Mango, who, guess what? He was on the King's Report twice. Who saw him on the King's Report, huh? He came on the King's Report. He risked it to come on with very controversial, who they call cult leader. A&E, do we have that prepared by A&E? Did you boys prepare that slide? A&E, you know, that Schlausen Media Production, that was sold to A&E, so A&E will be doing a program on us, on a whole bunch of different groups, starting from Memorial Day weekend. Okay, so in their little trailer, I don't know if we have that. Do you boys have that prepped up there? Not right now. Okay, let's see if they can prep it. But in that A&E trailer, the king makes a little cameo appearance, shout, "This is a rod of iron," you understand? Okay, and but they're of course they're saying, what's the program called? It's called Cults and Dangerous Beliefs or something like that. Extreme beliefs or something like that. Well, why are you surprised? I told you they're going to try to do smear jobs on us. It's not surprising. We have to understand, in the internet age, you understand? In the internet age, negative or positive publicity is still publicity. And in the internet age, where they can't control media, and people can look for themselves what we're saying, how we're speaking, how we're training people can look for themselves on our dang website, okay? They can watch the King's Report every morning, 3 hours a day, all right? So they can't control the narrative, so even though they try to do a smear job on you, like they did in the past, when they didn't have internet and they could just control, whatever the people heard through CNN, MSNBC, they can't do that now. Okay, people can go search for themselves. What's so extreme? We're extreme in that they're putting us next to that NXM, sex cult in Hollywood, and some other 12 Tribes of Israel, some kind of Mormon groups or something, or Jehovah's Witness groups. I don't know the other groups, but they're trying to put us in there. And our extreme belief is that we believe in the Second Amendment and the Constitution of the United States. That's extreme. Okay, for the left, that's extreme. All right, if you believe in the Second Amendment, you're an extremist, okay? This is, of course, under Obama, right? Under Obama, they put in the Army manuals, training the Army cadets, young men and women, the Army cadets. They were training them, saying that the Founding Fathers, in today's standards, would be considered extremists. They were teaching that. That was absolutely ludicrous, insane. Okay, so these are the type of radicals that we're dealing with. They see George Washington, Thomas Jefferson as extremists because they're leftists. They're complete totalitarian authoritarians. Okay, so it's good to be called bad names by bad people. That's fine. Okay. All right, and yours truly is going to be on our program. We have an interview with them. And so that will be starting apparently Memorial Day weekend. We probably will not be the first episode. We may be the third or fourth episode. Okay, but their program, that whole program on A&E begins on Memorial Day weekend. That's pretty soon, right? How far is that? That's like 2 weeks? Okay, they're moving fast. They sent like 20 people out here in $1 million stage with the lights and the cameras. Who saw that? You saw the cameras, $100,000 cameras and all that? That's what basically they're using. But that's beginning Memorial Day weekend. Okay. Mango took his, put his booty on the line, and he came on the King's Report. Even though I don't, people say we're controversial. The left calls us controversial. They call us, but they call President Trump controversial. They call him a hate monger. They call him a racist white supremacist. They can't do that to me because I'm not white. Okay, so they call me a white supremacist, but they lump us in with everybody else. So it's like, people on the right have heard this too much. They've heard the radical name calling so much that now we're just like, okay, you call everybody that. All right, everybody's an extremist to you. I mean, anybody who doesn't bow down and say, yes, please take us over George Soros and ravage, rape, and pillage our nation, you're an extremist. You don't want that. You're radical, okay? But we have some, wolves in sheep's clothing, okay? Coming to Republican primaries. You can see this school card that Ted and who promoted this? Who prepared this, I'm sorry? PA Family. Okay, PAFamilyVoter.com. And these red circles are bad circles. So look at all those circles at the first line, that's a wolf. He is a wolf. I mean, he's a complete commie, and he's got all the red circles, okay? He's saying yes to, allow, he's saying no to should the state prohibit abortion after 20 weeks gestation. Everything you can, should wedding services providers be required to participate in same-sex weddings that they object to on religious grounds? And he says, absolutely yes. Look at this, he's a nut, complete nuts, okay? Should schools and public institutions look at this one. Should Pennsylvania public schools and other public facilities require to open up restrooms and locker rooms regardless of biological sex? So if you got a little boy, say, I'm a girl, he can go shower with the naked girls. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And they can just walk into the women's restroom. No, that's not happening. Okay, so that's Tom Wolf for you, all right? That's Tom Wolf. But look over here, look over on the right side. That's a, quote, Republican on the right side. Look how many red circles. This Wagner, he's supporting, it says mixed here, okay? But he was, as far as my understanding, he was supporting the transgender bathroom thing, letting boys use girls' restrooms, this is insane. This is completely insane. That dude is supporting that. What a traitor, a treasonous person. He's not a conservative. This guy's a complete wolf in sheep's clothing. His name is Wagner. Don't press his button. Should wedding service providers be required to participate in same-sex weddings? That means forcing ministers to go to same-sex weddings. And Wagner says mixed, but basically that's a yes. He's not clear. Okay, so he's definitely not a conservative. The Republican establishment is behind him here in PA because they got probably dirt on him and they got him under control. That's why they want him in. But Mango is a special forces guy. He was a special ops guy. What was that? You got the A&E? All right, you want to play that? All right, let's check that out. Go ahead. Play that thing.
You saying anybody could become a member of a cult?
When we think about harmful cults, we don't think about our next door neighbors.
We were being groomed by a master pedophile.
I'm the only branded person who's publicly speaking about it.
They put their trust into something that turned out to be a monster.
Rod of iron, the equalizer of force.
You could have a potential Waco on your hands.
Everything in my body is saying, get the out of here, out of here.
We've gone to the FBI, and they keep telling us their hands are tied.
This is going to turn out in history to be one of the worst things this country has seen.
I still feel like I'm not free.
Okay, there you go. So Memorial Day A&E is coming out. But watch, they didn't put Antifa on there. They didn't put ISIS on there. Surprise, surprise, because the left loves radical Islam and Sharia law. Unbelievable, okay? But I told you, don't be surprised. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. If you're looking, it's the standard propaganda from the left. They've always been doing this. They always attack. They've been attacking Father for how many years? So if you're surprised, you're a wacko, okay? You're a nut. You shouldn't be surprised by this. But the point is, these people, okay, you can see the left, nowadays how they're reacting. how they're protecting Antifa, how they're violently beating people up with bike locks on the street, and girls that are out there protesting for conservatives getting beat up. I mean, these people are complete thugs, and the left protects them and covers them up and promotes them, says they're not radical. And of course, you can see what's a wonderful sister? She's an African American girl. She's very popular now. Chelsea, is it Chelsea? Candace Owens. I'm sorry, Candace Owens. She was with InfoWars crew, and she were walking through Dallas, Texas, or Austin, Texas, and they were trying to interview leftist people. And the people were just saying, F you, run away. They're just running away. But Candace Owens was like, okay, can you articulate a sentence? Can you say something to me? Why? You say we're conspiracy theorists or whatever. They can't say anything. They've just been brainwashed by their handlers, by their leaders, that, when you deal with somebody, racist and white supremacist, they're bigots. That's all you have to do. There's no thought behind it. There's no thinking process. They can't state why they think you're crazy, why they think you're insane, why they think your conspiracy theories are wrong, etc. Right? They just say you're nuts. And this is the sort of name calling that the left, of course, is degraded into. So you can see the left. The left is a cult. The leftist lunatics, they are a cult. It's like totally religious for them. If you even say to them, if you say something that breaks up their paradigm, like, no, what are you talking about? There's a lot of black gun owners. They're like, what? How dare you say that, you racist white supremacist? Because of them, the NRA is all white supremacists, right? And they're singing country music like with ragtag blue jeans and like a big cowboy hats and scraggly and smell no deodorant and all that kind of stuff. That's what they think. That's what they're thinking the NRA members are. So you say, you go to the NRA show, there's also black folks, there's Asians, there's Filipinos, everybody's there. They're like, how dare you say that? I'm going to go to my safe space with Alyssa Milano and her No RA rally. Okay, which was like 10 people out there. They brought a Hollywood star out to the NRA show to protest it with the No RA little campaign. Like 10 people showed up. How many people showed up at the NRA conference? 100,000 plus. These pathetic leftists. Anyways, they're totally in a cult, folks. They're in a cult. That's why they blame everybody else for being a cult. Because they're the real authoritarians. They're the real control freaks. And they're even more dangerous than cults, because if they get power, which they always want, they want actual state power, they rule your life. Stefan Molyneux, who's atheist, he's very positive towards Christianity, very positive, philosophically, but he's not yet made the jump to say he's Christian. But he's one of the top philosophers on YouTube, and he says very clearly, the left has descended into a sort of state religion, and if you break up, if you give them that kind of cognitive dissonance, you challenge their views, they freak out. They just can't handle it. It's become a type of religion, of statism, believing in the big daddy of the government will give you the candies and the welfare and take care of you and heal your sicknesses, etc. This has now been moved to the state. The reason why that's even more dangerous than religious movements is because religious movements can't, as long as they don't take over the state, like the Vatican, they only can teach certain doctrines. They can't force you with the point of a gun to do stuff. Whereas when the left takes control of the government and state, they can force you to do stuff. They can force you to pay more taxes. And if you don't, they put guns to your head and they take you to prison or kill you. So actually, Stefan Molyneux was saying this is way more dangerous than any religion. The statism of the left. It is the most dangerous form of religion because they're very clear in their aim. They want to take political power. And then they want to rule with totalitarian, authoritarian control. So that's actually more dangerous than any other religion, minus Islam. I mean, Islam is also very clear in its stated aims. It wants to take political power, and it wants to rule the world. Okay, so that's why they ally with the radical left, which is incredible. Okay, I'm not going to go in there anymore. I'm already ranting, and it's not only the announcements, okay? So Mango is a guy, you see here, he's a guy who doesn't have the circles. He says, will pastors be forced to go to same-sex weddings? No. Will schools open up and public institutions be forced to open up their restrooms and locker rooms, folks, locker rooms, Not the restroom. Locker rooms. That means showers. That means bath. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Mango says, no. Should the state prohibit abortion after 20 weeks gestation? Mango says, yes. Okay, so on all the key points, and of course he's the only one, he's the only Republican guy that's running for governor that showed up at the Harrisburg Second Amendment rally. Mango is the only guy. Mango's the only one. And Ted, I think you met him, right? You met him and said, hey, thanks for coming to Kingsburg. Man, I got a lot of flack for that. I got a lot of flack for coming on the River Moon show over there. You know? But so Mango was the only guy in the Second Amendment rally. Did you see Wagner there? Did you see any of those bozos there running for the Republican? No, you didn't see them because they're talking that they're protecting the Second Amendment. They're talking that they're protecting the Constitution. They're not doing it. Mango was the only, and they're working in Harrisburg. We had to drive there 2-3 hours to get there. Those bozos live there. They're right there. They're working right in there. And they didn't even show up to that Second Amendment rally. What a shame. What an absolute shame on you. Total fake and frauds. So we're grateful that Mango obviously came on Kingsport. He stepped out. He got connected with Providence. He got connected and support. You know, whether he realizes it or not, he got connected in that way. And you know, and of course, at the Harrisburg campaign, where all the patriots came out, and all the sanctuary patriots went out there too, he was the only one there. You saw him. He was in the front line, right there in the front. They didn't even let him speak or anything, but he was right up in the front. Okay, so his rally is going to be final rally before the polls on, what's that, Wednesday? Is the polls on Tuesday? I'm sorry, polls Tuesday. So this is basically the last one. Last one. And it's going to be Monday, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. at the Wilkes-Barre Airport Holiday Inn Express. Okay, there's going to be a big media event to welcome Paul Mango. Yard signs, door knockers, poll sitters needed. Contact Ted O'Grady for this. And this is, of course, this is tomorrow. All right, so we're going to be, we have a great show coming up tomorrow on the King's Report. I'll tell you who the guest is tomorrow. Excellent. I mean, God is just opening it up, okay? It's incredible. But we'll be leaving right after the King's Report. Like right after the show ends, we're leaving. We're going to the Wilkes-Barre. And anybody who can get there, this is Keystone State, critical. Even if you're not, you know, all the Japanese sisters and brothers and sisters around the world, sanctuary brothers, they're not living here, okay? They want to be at this rally. They want to show support. Obviously, it'd be great if we could bring them all. We can't. So if people in this area can step up and come to this mango meeting, you can bring real mangoes if you want. You know, bring real mangoes and eat them there. You're fine. That's fine. Mango chips, do what you want. But, you know, say his name right. It's mango, just like the fruit mango. Who loves mango? The queen loves mango. She loves mango. I like mango. I used to be allergic to mango, but now I like mango. That's not, no pun intended. Seriously, no, I love mango. I'm not saying, the food, okay? The food. I'm not saying that as a thing. All right? But mango, he needs our support. Okay, so his community has also reached out to our community and said, hey, we can get some of your people out there and to stand and support and, you know, and to shout and holler at the media and do interviews and stuff like that. That would be great. So if any of you patriots are good on Monday morning, I'll see you there, Wilkes-Barre Airport, Holiday Inn Express in the morning, 9 a.m. to 10:15. So it's an hour. It's like the same time as the Second Amendment rally out there in Wilkes-Barre. Maybe we can also get Sanctuary Academy to come out, join us there as well. But again, it's like a fight. It's like, you know, this is warfare. It's a fight. You can't let your opponent take ground. And the more they take ground with Tom Wolf and these fake Republicans like Wagner that are just saying that they're the Republican, the conservative values, they're not conservative. You're going to force people who don't agree with same-sex marriage to force them to go to the marriage. What are you going to do? Arrest them if we don't do that? These people are crazy. He's allying with the left. He's completely allying with these George Soros. And Tom Wolf took a lot of money from George Soros, didn't he? Ooh. Did you know that George Soros has his money down in Pennsylvania? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So we need patriots who can stand up and show up at this event, support Special Forces, Army Ranger, not Green Beret, Army Ranger, Mango at the event tomorrow. That's Wilkes-Barre Holiday Inn Express, 9 to 10:15 a.m. Okay, and also you can get your scorecards here. We'll be there right after the King's Report. All right? Also, the event is then. Make sure that you vote on Tuesday as well. Boys, this is frozen here. My thing is, make sure you vote on Tuesday, okay? Because Tuesday's coming up, Republican primary is coming up on Tuesday. So make sure you vote. Make sure you vote, okay? And make sure you get the right providential figure there so they can ally with the three kingships and with the patriots that are gathered here and effectuate Chinese culture step by step. Effectuate Chinese culture step by step. Of course, he is the closest one there, okay? All right, then we got Brides and Daughters of Christ. Tactical shooting competition coming up soon. That's May 26th. So girls, get your training on 2018, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That'll be at Car Arms. Brides of Christ, Daughters of Christ, married and unmarried women, high school age and above. Competition is tactical shooting competition. Shotgun, AR-15, and pistol. Prize also to be announced. All right, contact Andy Song for more information at this above Gmail. Summer camp's also coming up. Camp Shahakwa at Hickory Run State Park, July 13 through 20. Come to the meeting today in small sanctuary during lunch. Greg Knowles, coordinator, camp director Gideon Rauchi. Register at christkingdomgospel.org. Early bird discount, register by June 1st. Okay, talk to those gents if you want more info. Yep. Matching and blessing workshop also at Sanctuary Summer Camp. This workshop will focus on preparing for the matching blessing, the meaning and value of the blessing, who should come, matching candidates and their parents. The workshop will coincide with summer camp, so participants will enjoy all the fun activities at camp. Contact Doris Smith for more info on matching blessing workshop. Okay? Also, Sanctuary Workshop in Europe is going to be happening. That's organized by the European Sanctuary out there. Rising Up for God in Slovakia. These are the dates here, August 19th through 25th, 2018. Ages 16 to 35. Register by May 15th to get a €150 early bird discount. And that's the email to reach them at for the workshop in Europe. Order your PPP militia no-gi now. Anybody who trains, you know what no-gi means. No-gi now. You got a picture of that? Everybody got a picture? Okay, so we got the Order of Peace Militia rash guard spats and short sets. That's 3 pieces. Okay, there's a queen with the okay. Give me a full body picture. There we go. Okay, there's Nari and the queen training there. Okay, give me another picture. All right, so you can see the queen. Oh, who's that? Who's that? Is that? Oh, that's Eugenie and who's that? Christina. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, here we go. So you can see the whole, kind of see the whole rash guard here. So you can see this is the camo. This is the Peace Militia camo, hashtag Peace Militia camo right there. Boom. And that represents all of us. There's crowns and a rod of iron and sword of truth and shield of faith. That represents all of us in the kingdom. All of us in the kingdom that are sheepdog. All of us in the kingdom that love God and love our neighbor. All of us in the kingdom that stand up and protect the kingdom and hold it together. That's why it's there. It's camel because it also has stealth. The devil doesn't know where the good people will rise. They're everywhere. Okay? But at the same time, there's power. All right? So all of you are right in there. All of you are in there. All of us are in there, right in there, in the crowns and rod of iron camel, okay, which we call the PPP, Peace Militia camel. And then, of course, we have Pyeonghagun Kyungcha, which is Father's calligraphy's his name, and I've written it in calligraphy on the right arm and on the left leg, as you can see, and also the 3 kingship stripe here. And you can see these red panels, they represent the blood of Christ that holds it all together. Holds it all together vertically, boom. One powerful, the color up there is way better. Look at that color up there compared to that on the screen. That's much nicer on the color out there. Take a look up there, guys. Look at that. See that? That's much nicer color. Isn't that nice? Okay. And so you got, of course, the most important part right here. That's the Peace Police Kingdom crest with Father's name over your heart. So it's right over your heart because that is where it's centered. Okay? So the King of Kings name is right there over your heart. And of course, you have the car arms is on your leg here, and also on the back side of the no-gi. And of course, these are produced by Tatami Fightwear, the top MMA, BJJ, grappling, mixed martial art company in the world. You know, Tatami Fightwear, they're the top. Alongside Hayabusa. Okay, so they're at the top, and we collaborated with them to make super high quality no-gi sets. Okay, there's 3 set rash guard, leggings or spats, and shorts. Okay, that's for your training. Obviously, we're going to do training and all this. We're going to be showing them doing training, all sorts of stuff, tactical training, CrossFit training, you know what I mean, Kali Eskrima, BJJ, striking, you name it, shooting, you name it, okay? So pick up your Peacefully Peace Militia no-gi today. Okay, take me back, boys. All right, $150 for the set of 3 things, $65 for each item. Pay by cash or check. $10 for shipping in the contiguous USA. $50 for international shipping. Deadline for orders is Sunday, May 20th. By the way, the first batch already sold out, so we have to order another set. And I think they're on their way. They're coming soon. Contact Rio Tashiro at this Gmail to get your colors in today. Okay, so wear your colors of pride. Wear your colors of pride. That represents all of us. That represents everybody who's training together. And of course, when we get our system and database done better, the internet training system better, we're trying to find out ways to broadcast this so our Japanese groups, Korean groups can train with us live while we're training the kids here. Okay, so that would be sweet. And of course, we want that, we have that unity that we all know that it's not about us, it's not for our glory, it's not for us looking badass, not like, even though you look really cool and you're learning very deadly stuff, but it's not for your glory. It's for loving God, loving your neighbor, okay? To become that Peacefully Peace Militia that Father blesses with and to hold Chunniuk together. Obviously, it eradicates and shoots and kicks out evil and wolves in its proper place. Okay? Next slide. Kazuya University, every Sunday, 2 p.m. for 1 hour here in the main sanctuary. Also, Sanctuary Academy, sign up at this website with Shugitas. The 3rd semester sign-ups will be taking place. That's August 18th to October 22nd. Also, sign up for Gunners of America today. Become a life member, also NRA, and join us at the King Support. Fellowship Potluck. Let's give it up for all our fellowship folks who brought potluck and also our food ministry team. Okay? Everything else you remember. $5, $10 donation if you to cover purchase of additional food would be appreciated if you didn't bring potluck. Also, Daughters of Christ Bakery Bake Sale during potluck lunch, okay? Sunday school time. Kids, have a good time with your Sunday school teachers. Let's thank our Sunday school teachers, everybody. And let's get on to it. All right. So I covered already a lot during the announcements, which is a problem because we get like an hour into the announcements are like, sometimes watch like 45 minutes, an hour long. I'm partially blamed for that reason, but I do apologize for that. Kingdom Rod 15, folks. We are in Luke 4. We've passed through Matthew, we passed through Mark, and now we're in Luke 4. And this is, of course, everybody knows this is a really famous one, which is really critical. If you have to know a kingdom passage, you have to know Luke 4:43. This is a critical passage because it shows the reason Jesus was sent. Okay, it shows the biblical reason that Jesus Christ himself said, that's the reason why I'm sent. I can bring it right here. And he said to them, I must preach the kingdom of God to other cities also, for therefore am I sent. Okay, so that's a really important scripture to memorize, to meditate upon, etc. You know, that's a real, when you have love and compassion in your heart for those who are fallen and those who are lost and those who are, on their way in separation from God. And that's why we talk to people. That's why we want to, bring them to Christ, because we have love and compassion in our hearts, right? We suffer with them because we know we were once that way too. We know we're sinners too, but we're saved by grace. So we have compassion, we have love in our heart. So when we reach out, we feel that compassion and love given by the Holy Spirit in our hearts to reach out to people and talk to them, to reach out to the lost, to reach out to those who don't know Christ at all, etc. That's not just you doing that. That's the Holy Spirit working inside of you to minister through you and bring people to Christ and bring people to salvation, okay? So you have to be aware and sensitive to the prompting of the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit that works inside each and every one of us. And so it's very important to understand Christ's reason for coming. He came, again, like he said, he must preach the kingdom of God to other cities. Also, you'll see that also in Matthew 24, right? He talks about that again, that when the kingdom of God is preached all unto the nations as a testament to all nations, then the end shall come, right? And again, so we see that the preaching of the gospel is so critical. The preaching of the kingdom gospel is so critical. So critical, because that ushers in the era of God's kingdom power, okay? Which then, of course, then manifests in the actual kingdom. So this is Luke 4 here, and I'm just going to draw your attention here. We can read this real quick. We'll start. What is that? My eyes. Look at that. That's blurry, isn't that? 38. I'm sorry, 38. Here we go. And let's read that together. And he arose out of the synagogue and entered into Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother was taken with a great fever. And they besought him for her. And he stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose and ministered unto them. Okay, so we can see here Christ is rebuking and attacking the illness. Now, when the sun was setting, all they that had any sickness, which diverse diseases, brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. And devils also came out of many, crying out and saying, Thou art Christ, the Son of God. And he, rebuking them, suffered them not to speak, for they knew that he was Christ. So the devils were angry because they knew who he was. They know Christ, who he was. They know his presence. They can feel the force. Okay? And when it was day, he departed and went into a deserted place. And the people sought him and came unto him and stayed with him. Okay, stayed him means they stayed with him, that he should not depart from them. And he said unto them, let's do it together, I must preach the kingdom of God to other cities also, for therefore am I sent. Amen. So you got to be open to the prompting of God's heart upon you. You got to be sensitive to God's move and the Holy Spirit dwelling with your compassion and love that God puts in your heart. Okay, if you see somebody that you know, oh man, I'm going to talk to that person, or you have a coworker or whatever, or somebody you know, or this or that, and God is prompting you, you got to have faith. Okay, you may not be able to articulate everything like a perfect orator like Mark Robinson, little on him later, but you'll be able, the Bible says God will give you the words to say. So have trust, have faith. Be yourself. Let that love of Christ come out of you. Let the compassion of Christ come out of you. For those who are lost and who are descending into Sheol, which means hell, separation from God. There's a whole study, a really nice study done by a nice internet minister talking about unlearn the lies, unlearn the lies is his whole program, but one of them is about hell. And we've inherited a lot of pagan notions about hell. A lot of pagan notions, and it's quite surprising. What normal Christians believe about hell is actually quite unbiblical and quite pagan. That's a whole other study. I'm not going to get into that today. All right? The point is, these people are getting lost. They're going to be separated from God. And so when we have that stirred of compassion inside to talk with them, speak to them, share them the gospel, share them the kingdom. Yes, we may be mocked, we may be hated, we may be scorned, but God says, have faith, be strong. Be strong. It said, be bold and be of strong, good courage. Okay? So this is a natural thing. When you feel that stimulation inside, you gotta be sensitive to God's calling and to his prompting. And this is like, I think the really deadly arts really teach us this. You know, BJJ and MMA, you have to, real combat, you gotta be sensitive to your opponent. You have to be able to feel your opponent, you know? Because you have direct contact with them. But I'm talking about when you go into the more rarefied arts, like the firearm arts. Man, I'm starting to really see this whole world that I didn't realize in the firearm arts, martial arts. Wow, there's like this. You have to have this incredible balance of tremendous aggressive energy, but at the same time, super calm control. I mean, it's got to be like both these things, extremes got to be there. You got to be able to already sprint at top speed and run for cover or do all those things. And you got to be able to move and put a bad guy down quickly. But you have to also, at the same time, have very, very good control of your little finger. You know, you're pulling that little thing with so your whole body's tensing up because you're sprinting, and then all of a sudden you have to shoot like really daintily, precisely, and you have to squeeze that so gently. Otherwise, you're going to go all over. So it's amazing. It's an amazing. The more sort of nuance I'm getting understanding of firearm martial arts, it's like this incredible combination of keeping the aggressive nature that you need to defeat bad people, but at the same time, keeping total control of your mind, and particularly like your little fingers. You got to keep control of like your tiny little nodules, you know? Little fingers, right? It's like, and that's it. That's the trigger fingers. That's like, it's so critical to have, you pull that, the whole thing goes off. You're not going to be hitting the bad guy. So it's such a, I would say it's such a, like a rarefied art. It's such a nuanced art. And the more deeper I get into it, of course, oh my goodness. Going to interracial was amazing. More on that later. Let's get into this a little more here in the scripture here. But as you can see, Christ is chasing out the elite. He's chasing them down. 1/3 of his ministry is in fighting. 1/3 of Christ's ministry is in fighting. He's fighting demons. He's fighting principalities and powers. He's fighting the forces behind people who become evil. 1/3 of Christ's ministry, 1/3 of his life ministry was fighting. He had to fight these demons. He's fighting these demons. He's fighting these principalities and powers. We fight not against flesh and blood, but we fight against principalities and powers. Then they'll use flesh and blood to get what they want, right? So we can see him here. Look at this. He stands over. Look at that. He's strong. There's someone who is possessed and encumbered by the spirit of whatever spirit is upon them. And he stands strong and tall. He doesn't grovel at her feet. He doesn't try to, suck on her toes or something. He's strong. He's strong above her. He stands above that person. And look at that. He rebukes the fever. He rebukes it. He chastises fever. Okay? And rebuke is not like, excuse me, Mr. Demon, can you come out of there? Excuse me. Yes, why don't you come out of there now? Come out, wherever you are. No, he's like, get out of there, demon! Right? He's rebuking the demon. He's rebuking the devil. Okay? So Christ is there standing strong, aggressive, powerful, rebuking the devil. And of course, he's healing these people. He's healing society. He's bringing the kingdom healing there. But it's there with tremendous power. It's there with tremendous authority. It's there with tremendous confidence. Remember, like in concealed carry, you have to be confident. You have to run things through your mind. You have to be confident. That doesn't mean glorify yourself. You shouldn't be just glorifying. Oh, I am perfect. I am God. I am flawless. No. That's delusion. That's not confidence. Okay. Confidence comes with proper training. Confidence comes by putting yourself in as close as you can to real world applications. Real resistance. All this. Confidence comes through that, but you have to be confident. In the end, you can go through all that training, but you still may, if you just doubt always, you may freeze. So you have to be confident in the morning, in the moment. And you see Christ there, also here. Look at this here. Another person sick with diverse diseases brought unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them, and healed them. He didn't only stand and rebuke. That's in the verbal realm. He also laid his hand and he made it manifest physically. He transferred physical power into them. Transferred power from himself into them, into the people, and that chased out the demons. And that's really what happened on a societal level, with peace, police, peace, militia, everybody who is training and being, with this blessing that Father gave us with peace, police, peace, militia. That is an armed citizenry. You are being trained, you are being passed on authority, passed on power. You are receiving power from your good Christ-like instructors. Doesn't mean they're perfect and they're flawless. Doesn't mean that. But they have the right mindset of the kingdom of God, the motto of the Peace, Police, Peace, Militia. Love God, love your neighbor. They have the right principle, the right seriousness for training, etc. You are literally being passed on power. Literally being passed on power. And depending on, diverse ages, etc., it doesn't matter. There's many levels of training you can do to prepare yourself not only for your safety, for your own self-defense, for your family, etc., but for the society writ large, okay, or at large. So you can see wherever the kingdom of gospel is preached and where the Christ comes manifest, not only verbal teaching, but also there's a touch and a infusing of physical power from Christ to the people. Wow. That's why people militia is not just a mindset. It's not just something. It's neighborhoods and communities training together in a model of love God and love your neighbor, transferring physically power from one generation to the next. Teaching them the ethics of power, the ethics of force, how to not become a tyrant, authoritarian, to learn how to empower other people as your life mission, to be as Christ is. Right? Not for your only badassery and for your own glory and for you to look cool. And we want our kids to look cool. We want, because that attracts other brain-dead young people who just want to be cool. Okay? So it's good. We like you guys being looking cool and badass and all that. But again, don't let it get to your head. Understand that's one thing. That's one thing to reach out towards other kids who may be brain dead and who just want to look cool. But they may start that way, but they won't end up that way. They may start that way. Oh man, I want to be like Bruce Lee. I mean, I was like that too when I was a kid. I want to be like Bruce Lee. That's why I studied GKD. You know, like Bruce Lee. Wah! You know, all that. I love Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? And so, and I want to train like that. So I want to learn his martial art. That's where I got connected to BJJ, Kali Scream, all that kind of stuff, right? Because he focused on real combat arts. So young people don't like that. So of course, it is important that you look strong and fit and beautiful and powerful and all those kind of things. It is important. It is important. That is important. That is important. Especially for the next generation, because they're going to relate to those things. They look up to those things. Right? That's their level. That's where they're at. You can't change that. You can't do anything about it. That's where they're at. You just have to accept reality, and that's how it is, okay? So, but in the end, it's not about us. It's not about our egos, and it's not about ourselves. It's about loving God, learning how to love God in a community of people that are serious about keeping the kingdom safe, keeping their families safe and empowered, keeping their daughters safe and empowered, sons safe and empowered. And, of course, protecting their neighbor. Loving thy neighbor, you love thyself. First thing you do when you get burned on a hot scalding pan, you protect yourself. First thing you do when you stub your toe, you start rubbing it. You're trying to bring healing to that pain. You're trying to protect yourself. First thing you do when you see a lion is you may freeze or you may run. You're trying to protect yourself. Love your neighbors, you love yourself, means that doesn't mean we're perfect, doesn't mean we're flawless at it. We may freeze in an encounter, but it means that we're mentally thinking about it. Most people are not even thinking about it, let alone training for it. Because it's all about probabilities, and it's all about making perfect or improving probability. Right? When I heard one instructor, he was saying, when I was a young man, I used to believe that, I'm going to make the impossible possible, because that's what all the marketing Nike and all these Adidas, they have their little advertisement commercials. Make the impossible possible. Use Adidas or Nike and you'll be able to break all the records. And that's the intonation. Right? That's what they want the young brain dead kids to believe. But he said no. He said, when I was young, I used to think that. Make the impossible possible. But I realized that's ridiculous. You're never going to make the impossible possible, because the Bible said, he didn't say this, but the Bible said, with God all things are possible. Not with you. With God all things are possible. But what he said, don't aim to make the impossible possible. Aim to make the possible probable. Because if you can make the possible probable and you can bring that to higher and higher probability, then you're at where everybody else is freezing, where everybody else can't do anything about it, you're doing something about it. Isn't that interesting? But you can see wherever Christ goes, and this is on a macro level, when we look at this on a national level, on a kingdom level, we're talking about the kingdom of God, the gospel culture, the gospel of the kingdom culture, the gift of the peace police and peace militia of armed citizenry and good people having power. What happens? It gets rid of demons. It makes demons scared. It makes them angry. It makes them know that they cannot terrorize people without consequence. You see what I mean? See, so we usually imagine Jesus as this kind of, floating around the white clouds, and he's so gentle and he's so soft. He's got such beautiful white skin, beautiful blue eyes, beautiful blue eyes. Jesus, that's Jesus right there. Okay, no, I'm just okay. The Spirit of Jesus. I was depicted in Catholic Church. He's a little baby. He's hugging a little lamb. Oh, yes, my baby lamb. Hey, I'm not saying Jesus can't do that. I'm sure he loves all animals and he created them. I'm sure, God loves animals. Look at how he loved animals. Okay, but he's not going to be like that in a fight. You can see how he's rebuking the devils right here in Luke 4. He's rebuking the sickness, rebuking the illness. He's going after it, charging after it, chasing after it, and destroying it. And so, we're fighting that kind of demon. Look at that. Look at that. I was going to show you a scene from a video game, Diablo, which is the devil, and some of these young bums may know what game I'm talking about. I saw some smiles come up. That's why I didn't want to show it, because then it's like porn to them. As soon as the video was like, oh, their brain shuts off. They're like, oh, video game, I need to play now. That's why I didn't want to show the dang video, because I know what's going on in their brain. Daggone it. Okay? But look, the Spirit of God, chase after them. Chase after the demon and rebuke the demon with strength and authority and power. He stood up to the sicknesses. He stood up to the illnesses. He stood up to what was scourging society. Now you take that at macro level. That requires good antibodies who are like Christ. The Bible says, be ye perfect as your God is perfect. Be like Christ. If the body is society is like a big body. The inside there, you have antibodies which fight off disease, right? These diseases come in, they try to attack the body. Then you have antibodies that go. And they start at that local level, but they also get sent in from behind sometimes. But they start right there. It's that neighborhood little cell, system in the body that starts fighting the disease right here or wherever it is. You got to hit it. Got to fight the bad viruses right where it begins. Right? So just like that, people as well just have to understand this is a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual battle. One thing that I feel so powerful when we go to NRA, because we've been around fighters and MMA fighters and BJJ guys all my whole life. So, these guys are, obviously, they're beasts. They're animals when you talk about empty-hand combat. They're tough. But most of them have not killed people. You can't kill your opponent in these events, right? You have to stop. Referee comes in to safety. I think one guy died, but it's very rare, even in MMA, very rare. Okay. So it's a tough community, very tough community, and in empty hands combat, empty hands martial artists, they're respected. One thing I felt when I went to NRA show, because it's different from SHOT Show because it's not industry B2B kind of thing. It's really normal NRA members. You meet normal NRA folks from everywhere. And it's much cooler because you can buy stuff, you can get cool gear, all that kind of stuff. So it's much cooler than SHOT Show. But I think SHOT Show is better for businesses. Anyways, point is, you see, this community is totally different. Because all the veterans who fought, combat veterans who fought in wars, they're in that community. They're real killers in that community. I'm not talking about people who can kill. I'm talking about people who are real killers. But they're not killers for evil. They're killers for good. They killed bad guys. So it's a totally different level of person. You feel it in that community. You feel it. There's a totally different level because in that community, anybody can kill you. You can't disrespect an old grandpa. You can't disrespect an old grandma. You can't disrespect somebody because of race or color or because they're a man or woman. Because everybody in that community has made the mental commitment and the mental determination that if they have to shoot to protect people they love, they will do it and kill. They will shoot to kill. And of course, many in that community have already done it. So it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And that's why the government, of course, targets the NRA and these gun-owning people, because they are literally the most dangerous force on earth. It's a totally different level community. Totally different community. You are literally commiserating with the good guy killers of society. The toughest people on the planet. It's very interesting, very, very, very interesting to experience that. But we understand that's the difference. Look at this little girl here. You know, a lot of these young girls, young boys, young age, they get sucked into manga, they get sucked into paganism. Most manga is based on paganism, right? You young kids know that, right? Most manga is based on paganism and self-worship, right? You have the special power. Oh, you're going to be the one. You're going to be the one with all the superpowers like Naruto, and they do that. You're going to be the hero. It's all about self-worship, about you. Which is the reason why if you watch it and you go into that world, you become more depressed, more wacky, you end up dyeing your hair blue and become a lesbian. I mean, just ridiculous, okay? Because you live in an alternate reality. You live in another land. You're not living in reality. You never got your ashtray beat. You never got you're choked out. You never experienced reality. You're living in fake land. That's why you love it so much, because it becomes like your comfort and your porn, and it becomes your addiction, and it becomes your little safe space. You can believe that you're a hero. Why is that so important? How about other people's lives being more important? Huh? You may die. The reality is you, even though you make a determination to fight somebody if they're going to kill other people, you may die in that encounter. So you may not be the hero that you think you're going to be. You know, everybody holding on their shoulders, going, yeah. You may be dead in a coffin, and you may be dead, but you still be a hero. You see what I'm saying? See the level of difference you have to make? Because in the gun community, you're talking about real power and force. You're not playing around. Not playing around. And you cannot take, without armor, you cannot take shots to the body just forever, right? Like you can. Even if you do real hard, nasty combat arts, you can take shots. You can absorb a lot. Not when you're dealing with this level. So it's a total different level. It's like walking around with samurai musashis all around. But they're just modern day musashis. Right? Musashi, how many samurai fights did he have? Like 400 fights, something like that? Is that right? I can't remember. Anyways, but it's like you have those kind of veterans sitting there. Even Chief, you guys see him, he's old, you think, oh, he's just an old grandpa. He has 500 confirmed kills, you understand? That guy has killed a lot of commies. He's not a joke. And I'm not glorifying killing or anything. I'm showing you the mindset of these people. They're willing to put down evil if it arises. They'll never harm a fly. They'll never harm law-abiding citizens. They'll never harm their neighbor. But if somebody tries to harm it, they will die to kill that person. And they're not a joke. This is not like your leftist peace ambassadors, your leftist peace ambassadors that go and say, oh yes, I welcome you to my party. These are serious people. You see what I'm saying? With tremendous honor code. You're talking about people who are like samurai class. They've been in war. They've been killing people, bad people. They've been fighting demons and devils, forces that are, animated by evil, like ISIS and radical Islam, etc. So we know that the devil, and this is a sort of a manga interpretation of that, but we know that devils target people who are vulnerable. Right? Just like predators. They will target the weak. They will target the vulnerable. If you have in your heart, and young people who are training, if you have in your heart the desire, and all of you have it, but many of you don't recognize it, or maybe some of you do, at least you're honest about it. You have a desire when you're young to be a hero. You want to be worshipped without you recognizing it or not. You may come to church and say, yeah, I'm a sinner. Yes, I know. I'm saved by Christ. Inside, you want to be that movie star hero. I'm saying that's something that's natural, it's normal, and if it's stimulated right, it can be used in a great way. But Satan will prey upon those people. If you know you have that feeling and you're not aware of it, you're even more vulnerable. You're even more weak. Because if you can't recognize you have it, that means you're weak. It means already you're vulnerable. You're super vulnerable to some type of evil force promising you power. And you can see, like these little soy boy, video game boys that just playing video games. And oh yeah, I can beat Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm so badass. And then so they get this desire for lust and having this power that they're experiencing during these video games. And then if they have state power, if some spiritual force promises them, start doing this, start doing that. Ooh, look at this. This is cool. This is badass. This is cool. This is power. Pursue that. Sell your soul to me. I'll give you power. You can get sucked into that really quick. I'm telling you, even the BJJ community, look, even in the BJJ community, I warned you kids about it. You will have instructors that are not aware of this because they do have a physical power over other people physically, empty-hand-wise, they do. It's a real power. Complete dominating, controlling, breaking, and strangling. Real power. But a lot of them, some of the instructors, without them even knowing, they just think it's cool. They think it's just getting into goth. They're incorporating elements of paganism, incorporating religious elements into the training so that the kids get exposed to these pentagrams, upside down symbols, and start associating them with secret knowledge or knowledge that will make you powerful and knowledge that will make you defeat everybody else in jiu-jitsu or MMA. You see what I'm saying? It gets connected. It becomes almost like a pseudo-religion. And I'm saying you can't really exclude that because even peace militia, you're learning science in terms of the arts that you're learning, but at the same time, it's centered on Christ. So in that sense, it's a pseudo-religion, but for the good side. It's not centered on Satan. It's not centered on your power. It's not centered on you gaining power at whatever cost. That's Satanism. It's centered on the Christian understanding of knowing that you can't be trusted. No person can be trusted with absolute power. That's deeply embedded in the Chinese Constitution. Even the king of the nation doesn't have absolute power. You understand? It's the corruptibility of man that is so central to Christian doctrine and which is so important when you're dealing with real power. And that's why peace militia can only exist in a culture and a constitution that preserves the fundamental Christian culture of Christ, which is love God and love your neighbor. It's not going to survive in Islam. It's not going to survive in Buddhism, which is more of a pantheistic worldview, where everybody can actually become gods or enlightened beings. Actually, what they say is greater than gods. So it's hard to. So when you look, even when I step back and look at the whole mixed martial art community, BJ community, you'll see it. You'll see that seeping in. And you had to be careful of that because these ideas matter greatly. They influence how your spirit goes. They influence your trajectory. They influence your core values. If you start wearing no-gi stuff with upside-down pentagrams and thinking that you have superpowers because you've got this and you just think it's a joke and it's fun, I can't believe it. I've told you before, like Kent Peter, he's a good guy, brown belt. The dude is making all this gear with, and I know he's not a Satanist. But the dude is making gears as kind of like a joke with Satanist pentagrams on because he's saying he has a secret power and come to his dojo. Come on. That's ridiculous. Or even Eddie Bravo, right? 10 Planet guys, they're in weed and they're into Satanism. Some of them. I don't think Eddie Bravo is. But I mean, it's like a weird culture. So you have to be able to separate those things out. In peace militia culture, it's not about winning medals and winning accolades and people praising you and saying, damn, you're a badass, man. Oh, you're so cool. I know all the young people, as young people, you want that. It's natural, it's normal. But you have to be scared of that. You have to be aware of that. Don't let that dominate you. That is absolutely the spirit of Satan inside of you trying to tempt you. That is not what peace militia is about. It's about loving God and loving your neighbor. Loving the civilization of Christ. Loving people. It's about protecting the kingdom. Okay? And you can still go on to win medals and win in competition, etc. But your purpose is spiritual. Your purpose is eternal. It's not temporal. It's not just for you and your glory. It's an eternal purpose which lasts beyond you and goes on forever. That's why it's an honor code. Because it's greater than you. And that's why it's awesome. You're tapping into something way greater than you. Because if you know in reality, right, we're not that great. Individuals, we're not necessarily that great. Even when Jesus was praised, you are good. He said, only the Father is good. Amen. But you can see people who've grown up and they know that they're maybe physically weak, or they know they're scared inside. They're scared to train with strong people. You can see they're in this weak mode spiritually. So the spirit of evil can come to them and tempt them. Hey, I'll give you an easy shortcut to power. You give me this, I'll give you that. Easy shortcut to power. And weak children will take it. And they'll get into all sorts of crazy stuff. Slitting wrists, bloodletting, Satanism, you name it. They get into that stuff. Drugs, hallucinogens, you name it. What? For the quest for power. Then what are you becoming? You are becoming that devil. You're just becoming empty flesh, but that thing is animating you. It's not the Spirit of God. It's not the spirit of love and power and a sound mind. It's the spirit of Satan inside of you. So you got to be careful. This is why, peace, please, people, militia, when you train with the king, you're going to learn this stuff. You're not just learning martial arts. You're learning about the cosmic things too. I'm not going to let you run away from it. Just like if you're screwing up on a match and you keep mucking it up, mucking things up and getting beat up, then I'm going to tell you, don't do it that way. Stop putting your knee there. That's not going to work, right? In the same way, we have this fight going on in the spirit too. And that's where the devil comes in and he harasses, he makes sick, he tries to find vulnerable openings and holes to come in, to destroy you. Especially as you taste power and you taste strength and you feel like you're getting better. I know it's coupled with bouts of depression and feel like you're not improving at all. I understand. I've been through it all too. I mean, that realm, been through that. I haven't been through it all. So it is important to guard your heart, guard your spirit, guard your soul. What the Bible says, guard your hearing, guard your seeing, guard your speaking, guard your heart. That's what the Bible says. We're supposed to guard our heart, guard our senses, because unseen forces, unseen intelligence, unseen supernatural intelligence can try to influence us, whether that be through other people, social media, groups, collective thinking, you name it. In-group preferences, you name it, it can influence you towards evil. It's not a simple thing, learning how to deal with power. So you think about it, you see that weak girl, easy to be tempted by power. Little weak girl, trust in me. I will give you power. Right? The little weak girl says, oh, remember all those bullies and those girls that beat you up and did that to you? Remember all that? You give your soul to me and you will have power over them. Right? Happens like that. And doesn't mean they hear this in their actual voice. They may get influenced. They may see girls that they think are tough, that are into goth and into black makeup and black lip makeup and, yeah, I'm so cool and badass, don't you? Ooh, I have no problem killing for power. That's really the signals they're selling, right? Sending. I'm not Christian. I don't have any of your Christian morality. I wear black lipstick and wear goth clothing, right? That's basically what they're saying. I'm not Christian. That's what they're saying, right? I don't have any of your Christian morality. I'm not trying to protect people. I'm here for myself. I'm here for power. And I'll get it whatever which way. And you'll see there's actually communities like that do marketing on the internet. They do marketing through movies. They try to suck you in there. Believe in that cult, in that religion, in that ideology. And without you knowing, you're literally becoming a Satanist. Without you knowing, you're thinking you're becoming badass and becoming powerful because you wear goth clothing and wear black makeup. You're a deluded freak. That's what you are. You're deluded, you're weak, you're incompetent, and you're trying to get supernatural power from the evil source. You see the problem? You don't want to become that. People who are trained in the honor code, and that's what any real warrior culture, knights or samurai, honor code is so critical. Because look at this type of weak girl, or it could be a boy too, but look at this weak girl who may want power at a young age. They're weak. And boys, when they're young, they're weak. They want power. They want to overpower. This kind of lust for power then metastasizes into actual ideology that will try to say, you follow our ideology, we'll give you that power. That's why they get into socialism and Engels and Marx and these evil demons, because they promise you power. Look how weak they are, though. You can see Antifa and all these soulless souls are sucked out. They have eye sockets and they almost have like metaphysical maggots crawling out of their eyes. They're so weak, they're so pathetic and incompetent that they have to believe in these ridiculous, self-serving, demonic ideologies to feel like they're part in some kind of group, in some kind of in-group, and I've made it, I'm finally arrived. You're a deluded idiot. But they will target those kind of weak people who are addicted to video games, who are addicted to Fantasyland, who are addicted to manga, who are addicted to Korean dramas or dramas in general, who are addicted to porn. They will target those people because they know if you have something that you really love and you're addicted to, they can control you with it. They're searching for pockets of weakness in your spirit, in your heart, in your mind. Now look at these ladies. They've been trained. These are actual lady fighters, okay? These are actually on the ground, ladies on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan. Actual fighters, warriors. Now they're in a different code of honor. They're not weak. Now, they're weaker than the normal man, yeah, but with force multipliers like the rifle and all that, they can kill men. Okay? But think about the training they had to go through to become strong women like this. They had to go through lots of training, a lot of crying, a lot of pain, a lot of getting beat up. This is a different type of girl than this type of girl. See the difference? This is literally the difference between not training and a culture which doesn't have peace, police, militia. That's so easy for the devil to do. There's a culture that has peace, police, militia, and kids grow up like that. Kids grow up like that. You see that? That's an actual fighter. That's an actual lady fighter in, I think, Syria. I think she's in Syria. I'm not sure. This is the American forces are training some Middle Eastern forces. These are actual girls from the ground. They've already made in their mind the commitment that they may die. Now, all you girls are training under the king. You're training people. I'm teaching you these deadly arts. Have you made a commitment in your mind like that lady? Are you still wallowing in your own self-narcissism and your desire to want to be some, glorified Hollywood hero? Give me a break. You know it's a fantasy anyways. You experience it every time you come to mat and get your, booty whooped. These girls have decided that they're going to die if they have to fight for the country. They made the commitment. They've probably done it. They probably fought and killed ISIS members too. It's a totally different spirit world when you compare these kind of people with the gun community, folks. This is why when we deal with the gun community, you got to really deal with respect, folks. These are not people that are playing around. They're not playing around. They're not doing sports. These are people that have killed, will kill, have determination to kill bad people. The mindset, the culture, I'm showing girls here because usually, you know, Satan targets Eve. Target the girls. And that's why it's amazing. That's why we have such a big community of girls that are becoming really tough here, really strong mentally. They're not perfect, but they're getting stronger. They'll look back at their training. 2 years ago, they were complete, weak, diffident, selfish, self-absorbed narcissists. And they may still have little remnants of that still. Okay? I know y'all are not perfect. I know I'm not perfect, okay? The point is, you have changed a lot without you knowing it. Because you've come into a culture. You've come into a different world. You received different training, different education that you'll never learn in public school and government-controlled schools and Marxist-controlled schools. You will never learn it because they want you weak, incompetent, and dumbed down, and that's how they keep you under control. But girls from a young age will be able to handle technology, handle tools. They'll be able to handle force multipliers. They'll be able to handle bad guys. They'll all be knowledgeable. All be knowledgeable about it. They'll all be knowledgeable about it. Go ahead, play that clip, boys. So you may have bad guys in the kingdom, which even the Bible says, Revelation 20, that bad guys are still existing, and they gather, Satan gathers them from the ends of the earth as many of the sands of the sea. So they're still bad guys, but watch what happens. And doesn't mean you're going to be dressing in camo all day, girls, okay? Okay? You're not in a uniform all day long. You could look totally normal wearing jeans and a pink sweater or whatever, and having a cute little, white handbag, okay, with matching shoes. I know your handbag got to match your shoes. I'm not a fool. I know it. Boys don't know that. They don't know the handbag, girl's handbag got to match their shoes. How you not know that? How do you not know that? See, the boys, they don't carry a purse, they don't carry handbags. So they don't know. They just, sometimes they have brown shoes on with a black bag, or, the boys will do that, right? My goodness. The king ain't no fool, okay? I know your shoes got to match your handbag. Go ahead. But this is Happy Armed Mother's Day, okay? Because our mommies protect their babies. And other people's babies too. Turn that volume down now. Our mommies help save babies. So this bozo tries to come up and pull up on these women with children. And this mommy with the handbag puts him down in 1 second. Now, I don't care if that guy was the top MMA fighter in the world. He had a gun. She put him down really quick. She actually did a single with one hand. Because under stress, a lot of these videos show that under stress, even though you trained a lot, you come out with one hand. This is actually put up by Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo is a 10-plan instructor, very famous in the jiu-jitsu community. But he retweeted and I retweeted on my Instagram. That is a difference. That all those children and ladies were under the threat of death by that lunatic who decided to just roll up on him and just pick on all these white women with children because I guess he thought they were weak. But one of the girls with a white handbag, do you see her handbag? How saw her handbag? She had a white handbag? Go ahead, return the clip. Let's see. She's dressing nice. She got, jeans. She got those worn out jeans. People pay for those worn out jeans. She got a pink shirt on. She got a little white beige handbag. Okay. Are her shoes matching? Were her shoes matching her handbag? Oh, they're matching. You see that? They were matching her handbag. Okay. And she put him down. Now, she's not the most fit. She doesn't look like Gwyneth Paltrow or whatever. But she's a prepared woman. Because she's a prepared woman, she's a beautiful woman, she's a powerful woman. And she's a woman that saved all those children and all those women's lives. While everybody was running away, gathering their kids, saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That woman stopped the bad guy in less than 3 seconds. Because she understands how to use technology. She understands how to use what the ancients considered magic. Right? All these Satanists and all these power cult people, they're into, we want magical powers. That was old religion of the past that used magical powers and studies of astronomy and mathematics and sleight of hand to trick people to believe that they have superpowers so they would worship them. Now you live in a society where the normal person can have literally what the ancients would consider magical power by understanding technology and understanding the gifts of technology that come through freedom that God has given to us. And she put that bad guy down fast. And she saved all those kids. And she didn't think twice to say, oh, am I going to do it or not? Am I going to do it or not? She just did it. Because she had to stop the bad guy. That's a heroic young woman right there. I tweeted something, I don't tweet, what is it, Instagram. I wrote, something, peace, police, peace, militia, people, or something like that. That's peace, police, peace, militia right there. Bad guy trying to screw up other people's lives, deciding to roll up on people and point guns and kill babies, or whatever the heck he's going to do. And he gets put down. He gets a consequence. And that will happen at every corner that bad guys try to do stupid stuff. The odds are against them. Do you see? So when the odds are against them, then they can't terrorize good people. They can't bully good people. They can't have force above them and authority above them. They will always have to be subservient to the good people. Because the good people will have power. You know, it's like, if you walk into an NRA show, this is 100,000 people. There's no metal detectors. Everybody has a gun. Everybody in that building has a gun. Right? Is that real low, right? You can see it. I mean, if if you carry, you know how things print. You can see. You can see. If you look closer, you can see. Everybody in that building has the ability, if you do something stupid, to kill you. That's a really good check on everybody. See how healthy that is? That's such a good check. You get some idiot who's high on himself on the drugs of self-narcissism and delusion, and they're into manga, video games, and pornos, whatever, and drama, whatever it is. And they want to hurt other people for their own benefit. They're going to be put down so fast. It's ridiculous. They pull out a rod of iron, try to harm somebody, they're going to get 1,000 rod of irons pointed right at them. And they're just going to see fire descending from heaven. They're not even going to see just empty barrels. They're going to see the video gets cut off. That's how they say it in Korean. The video gets shut off. The film gets shut off. I mean, you feel that. When you go, next year we're probably going to have, it's going to be in Indianapolis, and maybe I'll bring the ninjas, all of you guys come, and you help us run the booth there. We're going to maybe do a Rod of Iron ministry booth there, fundraising, and let's see if we can do it. I don't know if they were religious ministries, but there's no ministries there. None. I can't believe it. It's ridiculous. No ministries there preaching the word of God at the NRA. They're the people who love God, and they're willing to put down the lights to protect people the most. Wow. I mean, what a tremendous, huge niche and opening that's sitting right there. My Lord, have mercy. So, of course, we're going to be down there. We're preaching Kingdom. We're going to be next year in Indianapolis, have a little booth. We got tons of cool gear. Putting that out, Kingdom Crest stuff, all that stuff. Maybe I'm looking to make a new video, 10 things that may shock you about the kingdom of God, right? Something like that, and just play that on replay so people can see what we're doing. You know, you'll see when you get in that environment, you're like literally walking around living samurai. And you can't mushi anybody. You can't look down on anybody. You may see this fat dude walking around, he's big and fat. You maybe will run faster than him, but you can't outrun a bullet. So what does this do? This teaches young people to respect old people. Don't you be playing, right? That's what it teaches them. When old people are disarmed, then young people think they can just pick on them. And even, at the worst case, actually try to attack them. But when an armed society is there, even the old samurai are deadly. So you have to still respect. Got to show that respect. It's a respectful society. You understand? Obviously, this thug did not respect those ladies. He thought all these girls are going to be wimps and they're going to be easy pickings, and he's going to be able to get a lot of money that night and go party and drink and do drugs or whatever he wants to do. No. That one lady with the pink shirt, the tore up jeans, and the white shoes matching her white bag, put him down. See that? Can't succeed. Can't succeed in the kingdom. Because you don't know who the ninjas are. They may look like normal people. They may look totally dressed down. Okay, go to the next slide, boys. So it was amazing. Let's skip over the Colin Noir thing. Anyways, totally different girl than this type of girl. You see the difference spiritually? See the spiritual difference? You see the spiritual difference? Now, which one are you? Which one are you? You're probably that. You see what I'm saying? Now, you can be pulled out of that as long as you have faith, you work hard, you love people, and you put in the time. You train. You become stronger. Doesn't mean becoming invincible. You never be invincible. So you can never get hot-headed like that or ignorant like that. But you know that you are increasing probability towards your side. The Spirit of God is growing within you. Go ahead, play Call One Noir. We'll play that real quick. This young man is now 12 minutes in, boys. Jump into 12 minutes. This man is now the face of the NRA. Incredible. NRA is changing big time, folks. Big time.
The building was overrun with crime, drugs, and prostitutes. Josephine wanted a gun for protection, but the Wilmington Housing Authority banned their elderly tenants from owning a gun for protection. Did any of the people who claim the NRA doesn't care about minority gun ownership step up and help Ms. Bird? No, but the NRA did. They helped her sue the Housing Authority, where the Delaware Supreme Court ruled in her favor. Ms. Bird was later specially recognized at the NRA membership meeting and was also featured in a national TV ad paid by the NRA that, as you guessed, most of the media ignored. None of these examples were exceedingly hard to find. I didn't have to travel to Timbuktu and climb some mountain to locate a secret library where this information was hidden. I simply took 30 minutes of looking past the biased accusations from the anti-gun media, and poof, there it was. But I guess in a day and age of IG memes and 140-character tweets, one can't be pressed to actually research beyond headlines. For those who lob accusations of racism at the NRA without any justification, you know the word privilege is not far behind. Ironically, the same people who throw around the word privileged are themselves guilty of it. So let's learn of privilege. Getting to make false claims about a group of people, and because you belong to a group of privilege, you're not held accountable. I think people fail to realize that there are different types of privilege, and like a lot of ingredients in our food these days, some of them are artificially made. I call them the fabricated untouchables. They're a social construct made by anti-gunners who rely on the constraints that hyper-political correctness places on social discourse to shield themselves from critique, while they make every false accusation in the book against anyone who disagrees with them. You see this form of social justice warrior privilege clearly when it comes to the issue of women and guns.
The NRA just reinforced what we already knew about them, that they were a sexist, racist organization that only stands for the rights of white gun owners.
They get away with labeling an entire organization as sexist that consists of 5 million members. An organization that has had several female presidents, is the biggest group advocating female self-protection against abusive spouses, rape, and attacks, has entire platforms dedicated to female Second Amendment rights, yet and still women like Linda Sarsour and Tamika Mallory can claim progressive privilege and call the NRA racist and sexist without any accountability because they lead a useless women's march, which is only beneficial to women in name, that they themselves barely march in, yet these same women are anti-gun and would rather a woman be relegated to peeing on herself to stop a rapist instead of her having a gun to blow the rapist away. But guess what's going to happen after this video comes out? I'm going to be labeled a sexist misogynist simply for critiquing the real benefits of a women's march against an organization who spends countless dollars and resources fighting for women's right to own a firearm unencumbered by overreaching gun control laws.
So there's Calawan Noir. He is the new face. Okay, stop that, boys. He's the new face of the NRA. He's the most popular NRA. He's not actually the official spokesperson. He's a commentator. Okay, but anyways, Anyways, the point is, he is now the new face of the NRA. The NRA's changed. You know, we went this time, we went, and even Lowell said, and Lisa said, it's like it's not a country club anymore. It doesn't look like a country club. You don't walk in there, it's only white folk. And there's nothing wrong with white people, but it's like the minorities were they were made to believe that they were not included in this. They're made to believe that you can't have these, weapons. The Democratic plantation runners, you know what I mean? The Democratic Al Sharptons and, what's his name? Jesse Jackson. These guys teaching, oh, no, you can't do that. Let's get her, pull black crime down by getting rid of the guns of law-abiding citizens. Are you kidding me? But of course, this is what you get all the time, right? So when we went there this time, whoa! The demographic is changing completely. There's so many young people there, young people in their 20s, 30s, young people, 20s and millennials that are there. There's a big population of black folks that are there now that are young too, younger. You see what I'm saying? There's Asians there. There's Asians. In SHOT Show, there's Asians. There's companies. But in NRA Show, there was Asians there. Right? And these, for example, we bumped into all these superstars. This is Hank Strange. He got his YouTube shut his channel down. He's a black African-American, gun enthusiast, just teaching about guns and safety and all this kind of thing. And they shut him down. They shut his YouTube channel down. But we meant it to him. We meant it to his crew. This is Carissa. Carissa, she's a military girl. I think she's a medic. But she's also a model, so she's bringing, a lot of young girls to see themselves in a different light. You can still be strong, you can still understand technology, you can still have power of the rod of iron, but still you can be beautiful. She's a mom, she's pregnant, she is in a faithful marriage, etc. You know what I'm saying? A different role model than stupid Hollywood, slutty, adulteress, breaking their marriages every 5 days and getting remarried to some, zombie bozo Hollywood cinematic director. Give me a break. And I took my 2 babies with me this time. Active self-protection, John Carrera, folks. You see his videos a lot, right? We bumped into John Carrera over there. And you see that little prankster and monkey around and back in the back. That's John Lovell. He is a deadly man. Don't let his smile and his nice looks deceive you. This man has killed a lot of bad guys. He's an Army Ranger, Special Forces. I said, hey, man, we'd love to have you up in PA training us a little bit. He said, I go wherever, the schedule shows. He said he's open to it. Nice folks, man. Oh my gosh. Incredible quality. And by the way, he's an incredibly high-level Christian apologist. He knows Christian apologetics very well. Very well. He's made videos against postmodernism and relativism, etc., and talking about Christianity. So he is open with his faith, and also his Warrior Poet Society. General Jesus, the greatest warrior poet. Tremendous lover of God. Awesome, man. So they say, young folks, this is a guy who's a half Korean, last line defense, very popular on YouTube, thousands, 100,000, millions of views. Half Korean guy out of Colorado. Bumped into him. Took a picture with him. He said, man, you're one of the tall Koreans, aren't you? I said, hey, we exist, you know what I'm saying? We exist. I thought he was big. I thought he was my size, when I see him in the videos and stuff like that. Nice young guy, does really good reviews. Very nice in the gun community. And he's a citizen. He's not a military guy. He's a citizen sheepdog. Okay, so he trains the fire martial arts for, being a sheepdog. Good guy, good young man. Mike. Tony Semanat. This guy was a Marine. The dude is a monster. That dude is a freak athlete too. You do not want to get into a physical confrontation with this man. You understand? Don't be deluded. This man can deadlift 800 pounds. He can flip up tires, jump. He has an incredible jump for his size. Unbelievable athleticism. Ridiculous. But he's a big dude, man. I'm a pretty big dude. I'm over 200 pounds. I'm a pretty big dude for a normal person. But that guy is making me look like a string bean soy boy or some of that. I don't play no video games, but he make me look like a soy boy. Tony Semanat. This is a hero at Sutherland Springs, Texas, who was the good guy with the AR-15, who killed the bad guy with the AR-15 that shot up and killed 40 plus people. This is the good guy. This is a hero. That's Johnny Wadowski. Is it Wadowski? Anyways, one of the Polish names. What was his name? Rufinski or something like that. Anyways, Johnny, we're getting in contact with him. He gave me his number, etc. I said, hey, I want to interview, man. You're a hero. He's just walking around. We're just talking. We're waiting for somebody. We're waiting for the girls to get out of the bathroom. And we're just walking, and we're talking, and then I see a dude. I said, oh, I know that guy. Oh, wait a minute. Come here. I know this guy. He's got this big Longhorn, Texas tattoo on his neck. Good old rodeo boy. His mama raised him right because he did the right thing. He stopped that bad guy with the AR. That's why you need an AR, because the bad guys use AR. And this is the good guy, young man, who with another good citizen, pulled out their ARs and killed that man, that crazy lunatic, who should have, by the way, been caught by the police and the FBI because he was on psychotropics, and he was outside of the Air Force system. He fell through the cracks, and he was psychologically categorized as deranged. They should have absolutely had him under lock and key. We had some of the girls at the NRA, Amy Robbins and Style Me Tactical. Nice young ladies that are doing their thing, and they're models. And Amy Robbins is a model, but she's also one of the co-hosts on Color and Orton. So they're stepping up their game like crazy. They're knowing that they have to be able to market themselves to the young people. They got to be able to look cool to young people. Because the young people get so easily brainwashed into socialism, communism, because the stupid Hollywood stars are paid big bucks and funded by George Soros in order so that, and also work with the CIA in some different type of propaganda movies, just like North Korea does movies and has control over their cinematic, artistry in their countries, right? Totalitarian regimes always want control of movies, cinema, things like that. Always. Because they'll use it as propaganda, just like Hollywood. There with Jade Struck. She's a young lady. She's deadly. She's so good. She's training under world champion Taryn Butler and Taryn Tactical. She's ridiculous with firearms. She shreds up the courses. I mean, she's not a joke. I mean, she is out. She can defeat anybody here. She's ridiculous. And this is her master instructor. He's a world champion three-gunner, Taryn Butler. We got to go train with them when we're in California next time. And Mr. Ted Nugent. I can't remember Ted Nugent, folks. He is, of course, the face of the NRA. And he appeals to all the hunters and all the wonderful patriots out there, etc. But again, he didn't appeal to the minorities as much. Kalawan Noir, who's now become even more famous than him, is now becoming the face for the NRA. It's incredible. It's incredible. Man, I'm so grateful because everybody was saying, oh, is the king going to wear the bullet crown? I'm so happy I didn't wear the bullet crown this time. Because not everybody knows us yet, right? But A&E is doing something on it. BBC, New York Times, all of them did something else, but now they're coming out with Washington Post is coming out, something else on May, etc. By next year, everybody will have seen the bullet crown. So next year, when I'm wearing the bullet crown, walking through an NRA show, and maybe some of you, the ninjas who are married, also can wear the bullet crowns too and walk through there with me. Then they'll be like, oh man, I know those guys. Those guys are they're the gun church over the AR-15 church. Hey! Yeah, they'll know you by then. So it was good. It was good that God didn't prompt me to wear the ammo crown this year. But if we have the booth there next year, etc., then the time is that God is preparing such an amazing group of peoples. They're getting ready for, incredible. These are the people that are completely in line with understanding the real bottom line of civilization. They're not deluded. They understand how important it is that the people have the right to keep and bear arms. Absolutely essential. And as Colin Noir says all the time, if technology improves and we have plasma guns and photon guns, we want that too. Okay? We want it too, because we need to have the same amount of force and or more than any centralized power. And of course, there you go, the Pew Pew man himself, Pew Pew living, Pew Pew life, Mr. Kalawan Noir. Bam! Superstar. Oh my goodness, and it was amazing. God just set it up. It was like, all we did was walk by faith. Lisa and Lowell, they're following around. God, let's give them a big round of applause. They must be, I wore them out. I feel sorry for them. Because they don't know which way, it's like which way he's going to turn. I just got to keep following this guy. Got to follow him around. I know how that is. I did it to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I did it for. I know exactly how that is. I understand your pain. But but you saw the miracles happen. Whatever. We just went in the corner. Boom. We're just talking to these Navy SEAL guys over here, and we got a picture with a Navy SEAL guy in Army Green Beret here. And then look down here. We're waiting in line to play this NRA carry. Not a video game, but it's a trainer that uses video technology to train. And we may get one of those for the church so we can train here too with the ninjas and stuff like that. It's a pretty good system. And it was waiting online to get in that. And then I see this young black man standing over there with 4 white guys surrounding him, like they look like soy boys. They're all, have their little glasses on, their little flannel shirts. Like, oh yes, yes. Oh, that's a great idea. Great, and I see a small black man over there, a black guy over there. And I'm saying, who was that? And I'm looking at his hand movements. I say, hey, I recognize those hand movements. I think that's Colin Noir. And so I walk over to the corner, walk around him, and I look at him and say, hey. And the four his producers, they look toward me like, yes, can we help you? Hey, let me get a picture with Kalawan. And he's like, oh yeah, come on in. It was amazing. You know how hard it is? I walked around SHOT Show all day long. I could not bump into any one of these stars. So hard to bump into these stars. God set it up. All we did was walk by faith, walk by faith, walk by faith. Boom, he's setting up meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And so we ended up taking photos with Colin Noir. And what was more incredible, Colin Noir gave me his number. He gave me his number. I'm not going to exploit it. I'm not going to use it a lot. You know what I mean? I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm not going to call him yet. I'm waiting, just waiting, We're not desperate. We know we are standing in God's providence. We know we're standing in the Spirit. We know we're standing with Christ. We know the kingdom is coming. But amazing, incredible, unbelievable, folks. What's that last one? So not only that happened, but then incredible, the Holy Ghost works in all other ways, and other sanctuary patriots, we're talking to other people in their locations. So we get a call from Bergie, or we get an email from Bergie Hutchison down there in North Carolina. Shout out Bergie and Hutchison down there. She says, oh, we got somebody who may want to talk to you guys. Go ahead, play that clip.
I didn't have time to
You have to give us your name.
I'm sorry. My name is Mark Robinson. I live that's right here in Greensboro. Lived in Greensboro all my life. I didn't have time to write a fancy speech. I didn't have time to, I didn't have the resource of an English teacher to sit down and write a speech with at school today and be, brought over here, practice or anything. What I really came down here for is this. I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group, domestic violence, blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority? And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony. I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet. You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself from some of the very people you're talking about in here tonight. It's ridiculous. I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens, because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA. I'm here to stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community, because I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen. The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in. They're going to hold on to them. And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take them? The police can barely enforce the law as it is. As what I see, we demonize the police, criminalize and vilify the police, and we make the criminals into victims. And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung? You're not going to be able to go down here and take these guns from these criminals. So the criminals are going to hold on to their guns. They're still going to have them. They're still going to break in my house and they're still going to shoot me with them. And guess who's going to be the one that suffers? It's going to be me. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, it is not going to happen without a fight. And when I say fight, I don't mean shots fired. I don't mean fist thrown. I mean, I'm going to come down here to this city council and raise hell just like these loonies from the left do until you listen to the majority of the people in this city. And I am the majority. The majority of the people in this city are law-abiding. And they follow the law. And they want their constitutional right to be able to bear arms. They want to be able to go to the gun show and buy a hunting rifle or sport rifle. There are no military grade weapons sold at the gun show. An AR-15 is not a military grade weapon. Anybody that would go into combat with an AR-15 is a fool. It's a semi-automatic 22 rifle. You'd be killed in 15 minutes in combat with that thing. So we need to dispel all these myths, and we need to drop all this division that we got going on here. Because the bottom line is, when that Second Amendment was written, whether the framers liked it or not, they wrote it for everybody. And I am everybody. And the law-abiding citizens of this city are everybody. And we want our rights, and we want to keep our rights. And by God, we're going to keep them, come hell or high water.
Mr. Mark Robinson. That video went viral, millions of views. He's a superstar now. NRA should absolutely hire him. He came and spoke at the NRA convention. So he was there, and he'll be on the King's Report on Tuesday, folks. He'll be joining us on Tuesday. Also, Monday, we got this young man, Maj Toure. And, of course, Lisa hooked up with them. I didn't see them, but Lisa bumped into them. These are the Black Gun Matter folks out of North Philly. And they are changing the urban neighborhoods. They're changing the inner city. They're empowering black folk and minorities in the inner cities to know that they have a Second Amendment right. And they're getting educated on safe handling of firearms and be able to protect themselves from the criminal element and the criminal gangs that are ransacking their cities. This young man is okay, right here. He was a hip hop artist. Maj Toure is a solutionary hip hop artist turned to Second Amendment activist from North Philly. His following began after he was featured on the cover of Philadelphia Weekly as a prophet of Philadelphia. He founded the Black Lives Matter movement in 2015 and tours country providing Second Amendment education and information to urban communities. Maj has been featured in the New York Times, et cetera, et cetera. He's going to be on the show tomorrow, folks. He'll be joining us for the third hour. Good young man, good young man. He's helping empower. He's a hip-hop artist. He's trendy. He's cool. You know what I mean? A lot of young people connect with him because he's got skill, but he's empowering young people. He's empowering those urban communities to know their rights and be able to defend themselves against evil. You understand? These are good folks. See, in the kingdom, it's a totally different civilization. See, this is a community that you all didn't know, right? We didn't know this community. This community, but is like the bedrock. They're the ones that if the government becomes so tyrannical, they will pick up arms and fight them. Do you understand? So these leftists under Quacks and these Pocs and these Kims always trying to do the peace ambassadors to these leftists because they want to get in the UN and they want to get into George Soros's pockets. They're allying with evil and allying with Luciferians and Satanists and communists. But of course, these are the people that would understand Father. His hunting lifestyle, his outdoor lifestyle, his fishing lifestyle, his entire focus on telling key in education is training young people in martial arts early, training them in survival, and he didn't call it bushcraft, but training them survival skills and fishing and hunting and things like this, firearms use. This is a real Father that wants to protect civilization. Not just morally postured pretending he's some kind of fake Vatican Jesus. This is a real Father who wants to bring real people, real boys and real girls and real men and women. You understand? He's a real Father. And these are the people that understand that. They can understand the spirit of that. You understand? They don't have the spirit of the demons that Jesus had to cast out in Luke 4 that we saw. They don't have the spirit of oppression that gets to you, oppresses you first, then makes you comfortable with the oppression, then makes you want to share that suffering with everybody else, and then centralize power so you can then feel good and get off on this shared suffering which you've created, this hell on earth that you've created, believing Pol Pot and communism, Mao Zedong. Ridiculous. It's like this evil, wicked spiral, which the devils are trying to suck you into. But these folks, they're in a totally different spirit. Doesn't mean they're perfect. Doesn't mean they're flawless. Doesn't mean we agree with everything they do or say. But they are standing in the spirit, standing in the correct spirit of God. They want to empower people. They don't want predators to win. They want bad guys to be put down if they try to do evil. So in that sense, they're good. They're sheepdog. Maj will be with us tomorrow. It's a whole new culture, folks. Whole new culture. And of course, now, the whole world is getting to know our community. They're getting to know the second king. They're getting to know 3 kingships, what that's all about. Slowly. People are starting, it's way faster than I thought. A&E, all these different media, large companies trying to do slam justice. All that does is just push out the knowledge of the kingdom further. Then people can check for themselves what it is we're saying. And guess what? If normal law-abiding citizens hear what we're saying, they're going to probably agree 89, 85, 90% of what we're saying. And they realize we're not crazy. We're not lunatics. If we're lunatics, then George Washington was a lunatic. If we're lunatics, then Thomas Jefferson was a lunatic. But of course, they do believe that. They do believe that. So the tides are changing and God is moving. We hope that everybody can join us tomorrow at the event with Paul Mango. Hope we get the proper governor in, so he can support freedom, sovereignty, and Chinese culture more in this area. He's the only one that stood up with us on the King's Report spiritually. And of course, he's the only one that, as you can see on that checklist, is supporting all the correct kingdom principles. And of course, it's a fight. It's a fight. Let's look at Chunsangyang 72. SOS, come on up. God is the first to follow absolutely the laws he has established regarding justice and public good, because they are in keeping with heavenly principles. You see this? Remember what Mark Robbins is talking about? He's talking about law-abiding citizens. They're law-abiding citizens. Why? Because God also obeys laws that he made. God is a law-abiding citizen. Did you know that? God is a law-abiding citizen. Well, he's a creator, okay? But he's a law-abiding creator. He abides by mercy. He abides by the law. He abides by the principles of heaven. And so those who are law-abiding, we are in the spirit of God. We are in the spirit of Christ. Doesn't mean we're perfect and flawless, but we are in the same spirit. We have a good nature. After God, then all people are to follow, and then the universe. There is no alternative direction, such as the ideal standard of man's creation. And you will see how the Satanists twist this. They'll put evil up at the top so that you have to climb this pyramid of evil. And the higher you go, the more wicked things and more seditious and nasty things you have to do, so that they get it on camera and can blackmail you all the way to your grave, where you'll be sent and burn in hell. This is a fight, folks. And this is a fight between kingdoms, bloodlines, and you know it's a cosmic battle. We're all involved in it, folks. Wow. All right, let's all rise up. Give God all the glory. He's moving in a powerful way. Let's stand with him at this time. And let's offer him all the praise, glory, and honor. SOS, take it away.
We have a little bit of a... I can't really sing. But I like to ask everybody's help today. As you can tell from this morning, we need help. So if anybody feels inspired, can come to this stage and help us sing.
As the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You alone are my strength. my brother, even though you are a king. I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. I need you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. Oh, you alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. And I long to worship thee. Morning comes, all the saints of God are gathered home. They'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. Crossed and driven on the restless seas of times, umber skies and howling tempests all succeed a bright sunshine. In that land of perfect day where the mists have rolled away, we will understand it better by and by. By and by, when morning comes, all the saints of God are gathered home. They'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. We are often destitute of the things that life demands, want of shelter and of food, thirsty hills and barren lands. We are trusting in the Lord, and according to His word, we will understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, all the saints of God are gathered home. We'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. And we cannot understand all the ways that God would lead us to that blessed promised land, and He guide us with His eye, and we'll follow Him on high, and we'll understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, all the saints of God are gathered home. We'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, all the saints of God are gathered home. We'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, all the saints of God are gathered home. We'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. And we'll understand it better by and by. Never leave you anymore, for I have found in your bright eyes a river of love, a heart of gold, a peaceful mind, and a hand to hold. What'll I do with this precious gift? Shall I embrace it to myself? Oh no, I can't. I will lose it, sure. It must be given if it's to endure. And how will I use this treasure store? How will I share this wordless joy? I'll greet all men with a loving heart. I'll speak the truth with a clear voice. Together we'll build a world that's new, that's fit for kings and fit for queens. We'll raise them up to rule the land and place strong Hyung in your hand. I'll never leave you anymore, for I have found in your bright eyes a river of love, a heart of gold, a peaceful mind, a hand to hold.
So for these next two songs, we took the liberty of adjusting a few words, so keep an eye out for those.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Out there in the dark, I'm gonna let it shine. Out there in the dark, I'm gonna let it shine. Out there in the dark, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let let it shine. Gonna put on my bullet crown. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna put on my bullet crown. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, I'd it go? I'd shoot it in the morning, I'd shoot it in the evening, all over this land. I'd shoot out danger, I'd shoot out warning, I'd shoot it for the love between my brothers and my sisters of this land. Ooh, I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters of this land. Ooh, got a hammer and I've got a gun and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters of this land. Ooh.
하나님 왕권 수립 승리 억만세. 만왕 전진 참모님 3대 왕권 억만세. 천의국 창건 억만세. 아주 hug your neighbor. God is good. Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dear.